Hey folks, we're here at F64 Live again. I'm here with Peter Reed Miller. If you haven't heard of this guy, look at some of the images under his name. Just Google him and you will see a million sports images that this guy's known for. He's donated, well, you didn't really donate your time, but he came over to F64 Live to spread his knowledge of how to accomplish amazing sports photography to the attendees here. Peter, how's it going, man?
It's going great. It's going great.
You've been on This Week in Photo before.
Yes, I have. I've talked with you via phone or Skype.
It was digital, Skype or something.
Yeah.
We get to meet in person.
Yes, man.
It's good to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, let's talk sports. Right?
Okay.
So, in your history, give us a little roundup of your background in sports photography.
Okay. Well, I worked at Sports Illustrated basically for 35 years.
Wow.
Staff or contract 20, and then staff 15. I left there, took a package in 2013, and shot for them a little bit more, but they kind of run down now. You know, they're not really doing much. So started working for AP Images, which is the commercial branch of the AP. So I shoot NFL for the NFL sponsors.
Nice.
So I'm not doing editorial right now. I'm doing commercial in an editorial setting.
Okay. And in terms of the world of photography, you've seen some changes.
Oh yeah.
Right? I mean, everything you've been shooting for, you said
35, 40 years really.
Yeah, so 4 decades you've been shooting. So you've seen things go from you must nail it on the slide and have perfect exposure within a third of a stop, all the way through to now with these full frame mirrorless raw cameras.
Right, it's all going to come out.
Yeah. What do you like where things have come, or do you think it was better back then? What are your thoughts on that?
I have both ways. Now I've gotten all my material, my early material, back from Sports Illustrated, and I've started to edit it and scan it. And in a way, I'm amazed at some of the stuff at manual focus, 600 f4, 300 f2, sharp, all that. Of course, all the bad stuff's already been thrown out.
Yeah.
But I love the files of the Canon, the EOS 1D, the X Mark II. I mean, you can shoot wider and go in and crop, and the files are just beautiful. So I'm happy where things are now.
You are?
Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting, and there's like we were talking about before we started rolling, technology continues to change, right?
Oh yeah.
And evolve. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, because I was talking to you about my little 360 camera before. There's drones out there. There's all kinds of new technologies out there that allow us to capture images and tell stories better. Do you think are those tools, we'll call them, are those tools clouding the art of photography, or are they adding to it?
Well,
in other words, was it better when it was just basic, exposure triangle and silver halide?
I liked it better then. I mean, I still think camera in the hand, you take the picture.
Yeah.
So people do wonderful work with drones, but to me, it's not really photography.
Yeah.
It's flying a model airplane with a camera in it. So I'm sure that'll probably offend a lot of people, but that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
But the other stuff, the new stuff, it's great. The mirrorless cameras that are coming out, the Canon hopefully come with a sports mirrorless soon, and catching up with some other companies. And no, it's all good. It's all benefits the photographer.
Yeah. All right. So having these amazing tools is great.
Yes,
right?
It is, no doubt.
And being able to tell these different stories, different ways is great. What do you think about the it seems like, and tell me if you feel this, online at least, there's been this sort of bifurcation of people that are obsessed with gear, but do very little photography. But they have the latest and greatest camera. And they'll tell you that it can...
They'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, it can capture light at this exposure level better than your camera, and they're better than you because of that. There's that ilk of people, and it spreads all the way into software. It's Photoshop versus this, Lightroom versus Capture One, all that stuff.
Photo Mechanic, I put in a plug for Photo Mechanic there.
As a real photographer, a seasoned photographer that creates, income and amazing images, how do you feel about that? Having seen that evolve over time.
As part of me feels the need to keep up with the latest equipment.
Yeah.
So I follow all the latest equipment, but I use it.
So we're at f64. What are you teaching here? What are you showing folks?
I'm teaching basically kind of sports photography in general with a focus on football photography. So we had a team, a 7-on-7 team right out on the lawn here today, and they ran plays. And everybody got to shoot, and it gave everybody a taste of what shooting action really is. Before that, I showed some of my images, and then afterwards, we talked about, I think people had a lot more questions afterwards than before.
Yeah.
But it was a good group.
Well, that's the idea with education, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to teach everyone to be a Peter Reed Miller in a couple of hours, but you can whet their appetite.
Yeah.
And the ones that want to push forward will push forward.
Yeah,
right? So how do they push forward? If they were here and they saw this and they're watching this interview and they're like, I want to get better at this, what do they do?
They take one of my workshops.
And where are those?
The next one's coming up in Knoxville, Tennessee, on September 4th. Still got some spots there. And then I'm going to do one in Las Vegas starting November 20th. So that's what I've got left this year. But I try and do 3 or 4 a year.
Yeah.
And I don't judge the level as long as someone knows how to use their camera. I just try and make them a better photographer.
Sure.
I don't guarantee I'm going to get them a job. I have a lot of people who've gone through my workshops who are working pretty much everywhere now.
Yeah.
But it's because of their photography, not because of something else I did.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So what kinds of things do you teach in these workshops?
Well, we do a lot of shooting. Like in Tennessee, we've got women's soccer, we've got high school football, we've got the Tennessee actual SEC football game, we've got a boxing gym. I'm also bringing in Steve Fine, who was the former DOP at Sports Illustrated. He does a great presentation. But mainly I want people to shoot, and then they edit and we critique. I'm not a big lecturer. I don't want to stand up there for 3 hours and talk. I don't think there's 3 hours to say about sports photography.
Yeah.
But if you can show me 100 images that the class has shot, I can tell them what I think they should have done instead. So that's my methodology.
Love that. Okay, if you could give people that are watching this that want to get better at sports photography, one tip that you've sort of refined over the 4 decades that you've been shooting, what would it be?
Know the sport, know the team, know the players. The more you know, the more you're going to get.
So don't just show up to a badminton match not understanding badminton.
Yeah. Oh, I've done that at the Olympics. That's an unfair one, No one understands badminton.
No. Is that a sport? Is it actually?
Yeah, it's an Olympic sport.
All right, like ping pong, right?
Yeah.
Well, cool. Peter, thank you for
Thank you, Frederick.
Yeah, it's good to see you
great.
in person. I get to see you in person. All right. Peter Reed Miller, ladies and gentlemen. Peter, what's the website again?
PeterReedMiller.com.
PeterReedMiller.com. Go check
Simple,
him out.
easy, and check me out on YouTube on sports photography with Peter Reed Miller.